Ah, hello again. Just giving the block a quick comb to get rid of some of that rust. But we'll get back into stripping down the GDR. Alright, so it's been looking a bit sad up on the hoist there for the last few weeks since GDR Festival. Things have been hectic. World Cup's been playing, so I've been watching a lot of that. The AA and First Rescue Roadside has been crazy, so I've been out doing a lot of towing and jump starting, which is good. Gives me some cash to spend on this thing. So I've also been spending quite a bit of time thrashing on this thing so that I can sell it, because this, I've been trying really hard not to spend any money on the GDR until this is gone. I have bought one thing. I spent a whole $99 on a lock bar because it was the last one that they had in stock. But yeah, this thing's just about ready to go. I've had to get the screens put in it. I've got a little bit of the dash to put back together. Put a new roof lining in it. It's had a warrant and rego for the first time in 5 years. So it has actually been nice driving it. And put a new heater core in it. That's why the dash was out. So I've just got to hook that up. A little bit of a polish, a few things back together. Got my other box to go over the battery. Then yeah, she can go up for sale. Hopefully someone will be keen on it. She should be worth a good amount of money. I mean, I'm realistic, but yeah, this is my project. I've had this for 18 years, sitting in the shed. So she's time to go. Make way for bigger and better things. So I'll just give you a little rundown on this ute. As you can see, she was in a sad state when I got it. We pulled it out of a paddock. A friend of mine had a V8 ute also, and we were going to have a club. So I started putting my time and a lot of effort into this. A lot of rust to be cut out. A lot of rebuilding to do. So she's basically ground up rebuild. My first ever paint job, and it's actually my first ever project I fully completed. So pretty confident with this GDR, because basically I've been through this whole process before with this ute, which also needed compliance. It also needed structure cert and all of that. So this is my little recipe book. I've been working on a few things, writing down notes of what I want to do to the car. Been doing a lot of turbo research, so I've come up with a bit of a recipe of what I want to do for the engine. Pistons, rods. The turbos have been the thing I've been getting my head around. I've still got a bit of stuff there I've got to figure out as we go, but plenty of pages left to add to. Just making my notes so that I can refer back. So I've been doing a lot of research into turbos to see what people are running. A lot of 300ZX stuff specifically, because it is a 3-litre twin turbo also. So not a common thing. So it's real handy to see a lot of videos on sizes. You can use any one of these turbos on an RB30. Some of them are going to fail, some of them are going to be awesome. So there's so much to it. I've also got to figure out my wastegates and blow-off valves. I think I've done that. But yeah, it's just coming up with a good recipe for what you want to do specifically with your car, with your engine, your style of driving, and your horsepower gains. So yeah, I think I've got the turbos nailed down. We will see, and we will go from there. So I got my HICAS lock bar from Skulls. They don't show here R32 because I bought the last one. My certifier specifically said I need this one because the brackets here wrap around the bar. A lot of them will just have little tabs, and you can pay $300, $400, $500 for one that is not going to reach compliance standards for New Zealand roads. So can't argue with $90. That's on its way, and I'll show you what that looks like and what it replaces once we get all the HICAS gear off the car. So the other thing I did between festival and now was I went and saw the guys at LTSA about Revin. So in New Zealand, Every vehicle, whether it's born here or imported, gets a unique 17-digit identifier that matches the last 6 will match the chassis number of the car, and that will put it through a testing to allow it to be on New Zealand roads and meet the standards of the New Zealand government. This car has been through compliance before, so it's been on the road. However, the registration has lapsed, which means I need to recomply it. That's why I'm going to need a rust repair cert for all the repairs we do, which is fine. That's got to be right. I don't want to die in this thing, and I want it to be structurally sound. And also for an LVVTA cert, which is for the engine, ABS removal, and HICAS removal, because I'm altering major safety and performance components of the car. So I get my structural repair cert, they attach it to that VIN number, and then I get my engine low volume cert, HICAS, ABS, they attach it to that VIN number. Then I put the whole car back together in drivable safe form. I'll go over it, do a warrant of fitness check. I've got a mate at another garage too. I'll get him to go over it just in case I miss anything, just for peace of mind. We'll write a list of the things that it may fail on or not fail on, but then we will take it to compliance and they'll do another version of a warrant of fitness check. I will give them the cert papers for the other 2 things, and then hopefully we won't have any dramas and she can go back on the road. And then after that, we will start chasing the horsepower, and then I will have to go back for a cert update at some point when I decide what wheels, suspension, and all that sort of stuff I'm going to do to it. But yeah, so that's the process now, because the registration has lapsed. It's got a VIN number, which is good. I just have to get all these other things sorted. Yeah, carry on with the teardown. So the other thing I'm going to do to start with, because I'm unsure on the condition of this pump, is get rid of the ABS. So this is the ABS pump. You have your brake master cylinder here, which is missing, and your pedal, obviously, where you press the brakes. Pushes fluid through, and then this controls all your anti-skid. Also stops you doing burnouts. So for now, I talked to the cert guy to get rid of that. We disable the computer, but we can just tee in the lines so that they just work directly to each brake caliper without having all this in the way. Nice and easy. Don't know if I'll run all new lines or if I'm just at the moment going to tee together where I need to with some fittings, because later on down the track I might put ABS in it. But pretty sure we want to do some 4-wheel drive burnouts, so we'll get rid of that puppy for now. Easy. Really want to smash the wire into the fuel pump, so we'll unplug it and the hoses so we can drop the tank. Hate to think what yummy fuel's in here. It's been off the road since 2006. Boom. I think there's a bit of fuel in this, so I'm going to loosen the bolts and then lower it right down before I drop it out. Alright, so we're going to drop the rear subframe, the front subframe, and all the lines in the middle. And then we'll basically have a bare chassis underneath, which will be great. Then we can really have a good look and see what's going on, if there's any more surprise rust or just that stuff at the front. Let's get into it. So this piece normally props up across here. These are ABS sensors. We're going to remove the ABS, but we do need to retain that, one for each side. And then there'll be ones at the front. We do need to retain that for our four-wheel drive system. How that works is it senses that the rear wheels are slipping or skidding when you put down too much power. There's also a yaw sensor, which is when you're going into corners too fast. And then it activates another little motor in the boot, pushes in this here hydraulically to the gearbox. Just imagine there's a gearbox. And engages a front drive shaft to drive the front wheels. Then it becomes a all-wheel drive. Yeah. There's always that other thing that'll hang up. There's always a big bar to fix it. And then we have the two suspension strut bolts and the four upper arm bolts on each side. And the front subframe's free. Boom. There's always that one bolt. Alright, so now we have a not completely, 99% empty undercarriage, which is awesome. We can now see, mind the hoist, what's going on everywhere where something was bolted and hidden. So we can dig into that, we can dig into that, we could dig into the floor over there, which I think once that chassis rail's out the way, there's going to be a floor repair there as well. The rest of it looks pretty good. The back actually looks really good. And as you can see now, we have a very empty engine bay that we can get into and clean up. So much to do, and I still haven't finished stripping it yet. I still got the interior to pull out, and I will take the wiring out, at least from the front and the boot, so we can do in there. Then, of course, we've got the front subframe to disassemble, go through all the brakes, go through all the bushes, give it all a good degrease, tidy it up. I'll probably paint the parts that aren't going to come back out again, but the arms and things are going to get replaced later. We'll get rid of all those HICAS lines, so that all we've got left is brake lines, fuel lines. Probably going to have to upgrade the fuel lines for what we want to do. Then the rear subframe, which looks even more complicated. We've got suspension arms, bushes, brakes, diff's got to go in there, HICAS lock bar's got to go in there. I'm going to put standard shocks in it for now, because these ones are shot, and I'm going to buy some new ones anyway. I do like the Teen brand. They're on my other car. I'm not sure yet, because HICAS do a pretty good set of shocks for the GDR2, so we will see about that one. But yeah, tons left to do. Just when you think you're getting somewhere, you realise how much more there is, and the more pieces you lay around everywhere, the more room it takes up, and the more daunting it becomes. Looks like Santa's little red van has been. Yes, he has. Scarless. Not Scales. Just listening to Andy Scar talk about it on his podcast. And it is not Scales, it's Scarless. But anyway. What have we got here? Pretty sure it's my HICAS lock bar. Let's see. Right. About that. Racer products. Guess this is like an unboxing. Okay. Some hardware. And one HICAS lock bar. Sweet. Now I'll show you what that's for. Welcome to Mike's Mechanical Mashup, where we make the things that don't make sense make even less sense than before. Today, we're talking about HICAS, high capacity, actively controlled active steering. Nissan's four-wheel steering innovation on the likes of R32 Skylines, Z32 300ZX, and the S13 Silvia. Designed for fast cornering and stability. Whether it worked or not, who knows? I mean, the R32 GDR beat everything in every class it ever raced in. So why are we removing it? Well, weight, leaks, old technology, and it's just a real pain to work on. So I will go through the components and we'll show you what we're going to replace it with. So as you can see, we have the front of our car. That's our front steer wheels. There's our rear. The guts of the power steering, power steer pump, driven by a belt on the engine. Pushes fluid through these hoses, goes to the power steer rack, which we then are turning by our steering column and our steering wheel. Makes this move a lot easier. On HICAS, we have power steer pump, front steering rack, hoses to that. Then we have all these extra hoses, a valve, whole lot more hoses, some hard lines that go all the way under the car, all the way to the back to some more hoses, which go to a rear steering rack, which will turn each of the rear wheels. At high speeds, when you turn to the right, the rear wheels turn to the right also. Same to the left. This aids cornering. In a car park or a tight space, the rear wheels will turn the opposite direction to help you turn sharper and neater. So the purpose of our HICAS lock bar is to eliminate all these extra lines, leaky points and pivot points to make a cleaner, simple steering where it only affects the front, and this locks up the rear. That's why it's called a lock bar. We'll take these two tie rods off this steering rack, throw that away, put in our lock bar, throw away our pipes, throw away all this, plumb a couple of lines from the power steer pump directly to the rack, and we now have two-wheel steering. Rear wheels are set where you set them, just like a regular car. No mess, no fuss, and it makes alignment so much easier. Yeah, so she's fully stripped now, so the repair cert guy can come and have a look. I'm going to pick away at the rust and expose it for him. Then he can tell me if there's any other things that need doing. And then we'll get into doing those lower sills and get it all cleaned up and back together. Ready for the next one. Onward the adventure.